Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversations dealing with elephants in the room. It's your man, brother DB. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know what new material is coming out. IG Elephant Man underscore podcast / podcast Facebook, and hit the Paleo Hebrew in the top right or the bottom right corner for YouTube / Poster Boys, and also on TikTok at Elephant Man 219. Hit the subscribe button. Blessings, blessings, blessings to all who are coming in. This is a day that the Most High have made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Also, we just thank the Most High for everything He's done, everything that He's doing. You know, we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. We keep the baby, that baby who grow up to be a full-fledged son of Yah, which is Yahushua HaMashiach. Um, we don't throw away the baby with the bathwater, right? There's some things that we learned in Christendom and church settings. We don't throw all of it away, right? That's just my wisdom to you guys, right? Discern, see what needs to be kept. You don't throw the whole thing away. Amen. Praise Yahushua HaMashiach. Blessings to everyone that's coming in. Make sure you share. Make sure you are subscribed, um, because a lot of people are being unsubscribed and different things like that. Um, so we thank the Most High Yah for everything that He's doing. I was not feeling well. I was sick, but I was like, yo, I got to get on and do this live because I love this and I love you guys. The reason I do what I do is because I want the Most High to be lifted up and Him to be glorified. And I want the body of believers, the quarter Shem, right? The followers of the way to be edified, right? One man plant, one man water, but Abba Yahuwah, He gives the increase. Whether I'm planting or whether I'm watering, at the end of the day, we want the Most High to get the increase, and we want you guys to be encouraged on today. Sometimes it may seem like I'm ranting and going on, and it may sound quote unquote negative, but nevertheless, know that what I say, I do what I do because I love you guys, straight up and straight down. I've been doing this for couple of years now, over 4 to 5 years, and it don't get dull. It doesn't get old. I want to see people walk in autonomy, and I want to see them walk in liberty. And I hate deception. That's one of the things I do not care for. I do not care for deception. Right now, if I make a bad choice, because we're all creatures of choice, if I make a bad choice, or you make a bad choice, just on our own merit, then that's one thing. But for somebody to say it's something, but when it's not, that's that I don't feel that. So then that's when you hear me sound the alarm. That's when you hear me, yo, you hear me start going off on that stuff, man. I think everybody should live peaceably. He wants us to walk circumspect and live peaceably among all men and women. And we should have a free. He said, "Who the Son sets free is free as deed, free indeed." And I even got a whole nother level on that spiral to liberty. The awakening is such a amazing thing. The awakening is such an amazing thing. It heightens everything, right? We don't want to get besides ourselves and get puffed up. He said, "Knowledge puffeth up," right? But why did He awaken us for such a time as this? Why did He awaken us to let us know who we are and whose we are? Because we got a work to do, right? And because we have to glorify the Most High Yah in the earth. We got seeds to plant. We got seeds to water. Abba Yahuwah get an increase. Abba Yahuwah get the glory. Abba Yahuwah get the increase. So we just thank the Most High Yah for everything that He's done, everything that He's doing. This is how I get elevated. I get elevated when I humble myself, and then he elevates us, right? So I'm gonna share some scriptures, and then we're gonna get off of here. But I was um I was just saying, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Some of the things that we've learned, the Most High want us to keep, and we have to be the joy of the Most High is our strength. The joy of the Most High is eternal. It's eternal. If we get preach happy, I thought about this today. If you get preach happy, that's off of happenstance. Happiness is based off of happenstance. So happiness is just based off of happenstance. So you could be up and then you'll be down, right? But the joy is consistent. The joy it doesn't leave. It don't matter whether I'm based or whether I'm abound. The joy is consistent. It is consistent. I'm gonna read this 1 Peter 5, and then I'm gonna get into our story, which is David. But I think one of the things we got to do, we got to stay laser focused. We got to stay laser focused, right? It's so many voices, it's so many things to distract us, right? It's so many things to take us away from the things of the Most High Yah. And we try the spirit by the spirit. We ask the Most High, is this you, Abba? Right? It may look like you, it may sound like you, but it might be the tradition of men. It's a lot of tradition of men that jumps off. And it's not, sometimes it's not bad, it's allowable, right? But sometimes we can manufacture things when the Ruach is absent, then we got to manufacture things, right? We should never have to do that because he speaks for himself, and um, it's not by might or by power, but about his spirit. All right. Serve Yah willingly. This is a reminder. Then we're going to go to 2 Samuel 11. Make sure you get those likes up. Make sure you check to see if you are subscribed. And if it blessed you, then you know it'll bless somebody else. Share with someone else who might be blessed. Kimberly J, it's been the second blessings to you. I pray that the Most High Yah bless you, your family. I pray that you are clothed and in your right mind. Abba Yah said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw our men unto me. And we worship him and we honor him. And we thank him for everything that he's doing. And we thank you, Kimberly J. Blessings to you, cousin Tyron Bonds. Praise be the Most High Yah. He said, Judah Nation, yo. He said, I said, it's a secret. And he always say, no, it ain't no secret. It's out the bag now, man. And so we just praise the Most High Yah. Jason Cam 4 from Baltimore. What's up, brother? Blessings to you. Blessings to Adaya Malaka in New York. I haven't talked to her in a minute. She has some things going on. I'm gonna talk to her, and blessings to everybody who listening on the playback. And but I'm gonna read this real quick. Elders, which are among you, I exhort. Am also an elder, and I witness of the and I witnessed the sufferings of Yahusha or the Christ. This is Peter, right? Peter been through a lot, right? He seen Yahusha heal the sick, raise the dead, cast out devils. He got a chance to walk on water, and he wanted to preserve Yahusha's life, right, by cutting one of them the men's ear off, and Yahusha picked the ear up, put it back on his head, like, yo, there ain't time for that. If I don't die, you don't live. I have to shed my blood so you can live. If I don't die, then you don't live. And so Yahushua, and then when he came back, he said, I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you. And he said, before the crow cock 3 times, you're gonna deny me. Now Yahushua, now Peter probably thought, man, ain't nothing, man. I ain't gonna let nothing stop me. But then what Yahushua said happened. But guess what? You would think that the beginning of his ministry is when he healing the sick. I'm talking about Kepha now, Peter, healing the sick, raising the dead, casting out devils, right? Walking, right? One of the 12, and then he was one of the three, which was the more intimate, right? Peter, John, James was the more intimate, walking with him. The inner circle of Yahusha, Hamashiach. That's wild. And he still said, you're gonna deny me. And he did it and walked on water and all these different things. And his ministry still ain't started yet. It was all a process. That was all learning grounds for him. It wasn't even time for his ministry. I mean, it started, but you would think that he had a pinnacle after you walked on water and walked with the Mashiach and been on the mountain of transfiguration and been in the inner circle of the Mashiach of the whole world. You think, oh man, I have arrived. And then he said, Kepha, Peter, do you love me? Yes, you know that. Feed my sheep, feed my lamb, right? And so full circle, Peter was like, so I'm going to read First Peter 5:1. Then we're going to get into our story. Hopefully we got enough time. The elders which are among you I exhort. I am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ. So he was actually like, I've been there. I was actually there with him. I was one of the 12, the original 12, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. Okay, feed the flock of Yah which is among you. So he's telling all of us the same thing that Yahusha told him: feed my sheep, feed my lamb. Right? He said, feed the flock among you, taking an oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but a ready mind. And the filthy lucre is basically like don't fleece them and take their money and take advantage of them, right? Neither as being lords over Yah's heritage, but being an example to the flock. I think that happens a lot. First Peter 5:3, men want to be lords over Yahusha's sheep. Men want to be lords over Yahusha's sheep. Crazy. But I said it's going to be a good show, so I'm going to behave. Verse 4, and when the chief shepherd shall appear, that's Yahushua HaMashiach himself, ye shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. Likewise, ye younger, submit yourself unto the elder, right? Yea, all of you be subject to one another. I guess that deals with accountability and subject to one another, and be clothed with humility. Why? For Yah resist the proud and give grace to the humble. He resists the proud and give grace to the humble. Now, whether you are a follower of the way or not, you're still a creature of choice. That's one thing Abba Yahuwah does not take from you. He does not take that away from you. You're still a creature of choice, right? That's why the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That's why he said, take up the cross, what? And follow me daily. He said he wants you to take up that cross and to kill the flesh and follow him daily, right? And then listen to the convictions of the Ruach, but don't dwell in the condemnation, but listen to the conviction. Because there's a difference between the conviction and the condemnation. Conviction is being convicted by the Ruach, right? You do something and then the bottom fall out. You say, something told me not to do that, not to say that, not to go over there, not to do this. That something is the Ruach HaKodesh, trying to lead you and guide you into all truth. But you're still a creature of choice, right? So you may justify and disobey the Most High Yah, right? Then you have to just repent and try to listen to that still small voice. If my sheep hear my voice and another they will not follow. So we got serpents out here, right? We got other people that's not that's not don't have your best interest, right? They have a ulterior motive other than seeing the Most High glorified and you edified. All right. Likewise, you younger, submit yourself to the elder. Yea, all of you be subject to one another and be clothed with humility. For Yah resist the proud and give grace to the humble. Verse 6. Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of Yah, and he will exalt you in due season. Right? Casting your cares upon him because he cared for you. So we've got to cast our cares upon him. Right? Some things is out of our hands. The person that's listening to me now, it's a situation, a circumstance that is out of your hands. You got your hands tied up. You can't do nothing about it. So you got to give it to him in prayer. You got to cast your cares upon him. And the way you take it back is by fear and worrying, right? Abba Yahuwah is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore, right? And he's came for us and helped us out many times, right? Even David said, I was once young, but now I'm old or older. I was never seen the righteous forsaken nor his seed begging bread. I remember hearing that when I was a young person, maybe 8 or 9, and I didn't know I was once young, but now I'm old. Okay. But now I'm older. I ain't gonna say I'm old. I'm gonna say I'm older with an ER on it. And I could attest to that. I was once young, but now I'm older, and I've never seen the righteous forsaken or his seed breaking bread. Who was righteous? Those who believed in the finished work and are covered in the blood of Yahusha, right? Cast your cares upon him because he cared for you. Be sober and vigilant because your adversary, Hasatan, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh around seeking who he may devour. Right. So when you're not sober, when you're not vigilant, when you're not looking, right? When you're in your weak spot, your weak place, he trying to devour you. He don't even play fair. He want to destroy you. He trying to devour you. Amen. Who resist steadfast in faith, knowing the same afflictions are accomplished in your brother that are in the world. Praise Yah. All right. So basically, we want to resist Satan and submit to Yah. He will flee from us. And Yahushua led by example. He showed us how to do it. Right? He used the written word. Right? Now he came to I'm gonna share this tab instead. If he came and tried to trip up Yahushua himself, how much more us? Dale J, shalom. Blessings to you, brother. Brother Dale J in the building. He said to the nation, yo. So if he tried to trip up Yahushua in Luke 4, saying he tried to trip him up with the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and pride of life, how much more us? How much more us? Right? We are born in sin, shaped in iniquity, and we're not laser focused. We can get distracted. We can get off the path of the things that are Yahushua HaMashiach. And that's what I'm leading up to the story on today with David and Bathsheba. The story of David and Bathsheba. Very, very interesting story. We know David's humble beginnings when he wasn't even thinking to be king. He wasn't even wanting to be king. And we know that in the beginning of his story, he was a keeper of the sheep, right? And when Samuel came to the house, Jesse's house, he was like, "Yo, it's the next king is in your house," right? He was done with Saul, um, and he was saying, I got somebody after my own heart." So he told Samuel to go to Jesse's house. So he like, bet. So y'all know the story. He lined up everybody and got everybody going in there, and the oil did not flow from the horn. The anointing oil did not flow for 7 of Jesse's sons. Right? And it's like, I know I heard Abba Yahuwah. He told me that somebody from your house is going to be king. Do you got any more sons? He just assumed that David wasn't going to be the son. That's a form of rejection, right? That's a form of David being a black sheep, an outcast. He wasn't even looked upon. He just, yeah, I got one more, but he's out in the field with the sheep. He ain't even get invited, even if it was one of his other brothers. He ain't even get invited to some coronation, to an anointing or ceremony for the next king. You just got to hear about it when you come home at the end of the night. That's terrible. But nevertheless, I digress. So probably deal with rejection issues, black sheep issues, man look on the outward appearance, as it said, Abba Yah looks on the heart. So people they might have looked at you and said, man, she ain't gonna amount to nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't about all that. Um, Directly or indirectly, right? They don't esteem you, they don't honor you, they don't value you, and that can mess with your esteem, right? You're the black sheep, right? Of the family, the litter of the rut, per se. And then, can you imagine the oil flowing? And all 7 of his other brothers like, what? David? You don't even look like a king. What he did that was so kingly. But little did his brothers know, he was a man after Yah's own heart, right? Um, he was out there praising and worshiping Yah, and it was just as unto the Most High, because nobody's seen it, right? The sheep might have heard him praising and worshiping. Nobody else did. He out there. Yeah, man. So the letter of the run, the black sheep, the outcast. Man looks on the outward appearance, but Abba Yah looks on the heart, man. So, and even in that, it might have been jealousy. You know how it is. Man, how he get picked? But look, the oil flowed on him. So what we gonna do? Nothing but make him king. But guess what? He didn't take the crown right away because it was a process. I think it might have been 12 years. I'm not mistaken, but I know it wasn't overnight that David took. Okay, you're anointed to be the king, but now it's a process, right? Saul found out. Saul was throwing javelins at David and doing all kind of stuff, right? And so um, he was jealous of David, right? They had songs. Saul killed 1,000. David killed tens of thousands, and all these different things. And so we know David had a humble beginning, and David was the eighth son, and eight is the number of new beginnings. And Most High gonna do something with you guys in this season. It's a new beginning, right? Don't fear. Sometimes we can be fearful of success. I used to think, man, bring it on. Bring the success on. Bring the people. Bring the promotion. Bring the monetary blessing or whatever. Bring it on. But the reason that we might be fear of success is because it's still unknown. It's still unknown. So in the place that we at, we can be comfortable. We can stay in that same place for years and years and years, right? And I was a gentleman. You can be in the same place for years, and I'll be like, look, I want you to come up. I want to take you to a whole nother place. And you might do what Moshe did, like, man, I'm stuttering. Get somebody else. Get Aaron. Get somebody else. No, I chose you. Abba chose you. You that's listening. He chose you, right? And he do the foolish things to confound the wise. When everybody else counted you out, he chose you. He choosing you to confound the wise, right? Because guess what? He gonna be able to get all the glory then. He gonna be able to get all the glory, and you can give all the glory to him. You gonna give all. He ain't gonna see you and glorify him, which is the whole problem. With the whole process, what's supposed to happen. Men see you and glorify him. They see your greatness, but they glorify him. Why? Because you're still humble. You still a base. It don't matter whether you're a base or a bomb. You still humble. You still on mission. You still know what the Most High got going for you. You still on mission. Praise Yah. So we know the story with these guys, but this uh Bathsheba, we know that we got to stay on the wall, man, and we got to stay focused and not be distracted. And that's all this was in a nutshell. The Bathsheba story and David's great sin. It came to pass, 2 Samuel 11:1, came to pass that after the year expired, at the time the kings go forth to battle, that David sent Joab. It ain't like today. Kings can talk crazy, right? And then send your son and your daughter off to war. But nevertheless, I said I was going to behave. And all Israel, and they destroyed the children of Ammon and besieged Rabbah. But David tarried still in Jerusalem. So he's supposed to have been out there on the battlefield, right? We don't have, idle mind is the devil's workshop. That's what they say. So he wasn't standing on business, right? He wasn't following protocol, right? He didn't want some battles. He feeling good. And if we're not careful, we'll think that we had something to do with winning those battles, right? We'll take a little bit of glory. Yeah, Abba Yah did 98%, but I helped out 2%. That 2% is a 2% too much when it comes to the glory going to the Most High Yah. Cam too, shalom, blessings. Blessings to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see your text. I don't actually see you. All right. 11:2. And it came to pass that at the evening time David arose from off his bed and walked upon the roof of the house. And from the roof he saw a woman bathing herself. The woman was very beautiful to look upon. So again, David was out of position, and and you know what I'm saying. He believed in the hype of who he is, and yeah, I did, Kenton. I did. Can you imagine though? Saul killed 1,000, David killed tens of thousands. You hear that song enough, you'll go from being a sheep I'm the GOAT. Everybody want to be the GOAT now, the greatest of all times. Abba said, my sheep hear my voice, and another they shall not follow. But we want to be goats. We want to be the GOAT, right? And that's not to Ernest Higgs, shalom, blessings to you. Ernest Higgs, shalom. That's not to uh, downplay any accomplishment you did, right? But all the glory, when they put that mic in your face, you go back to the Most High Yah. Because the only reason you can do it because you are uh, clothed in your right mind because of Him, right? He gave you the discipline to do whatever it is, right? And so He gets the glory when they put that camera in your face. Men gonna see you and what? Glorify Him. That's what it's all about. It's not about us being the goat, but it's about us staying the sheep. Because the goat is a Baphomet. And I'm not saying anybody that call themselves the goat is Baphomet. I'm just saying I want to stay as sheep so I can hear still small voice. And from the rooftop, he saw a woman bathing herself. Verse 3. And David sent and inquired after the woman. And one said, is not this Bathsheba, the daughter of Elam, the wife of Uriah, the Hittite? And David sent messengers and took her. And she came unto him, and he lay with her, for she was pure. She was purified from the uncleanness, and she returned to her house. Oh man, that's crazy. So Uriah is out on the battlefield. David was supposed to have been out there too, right? And he fall. I'm gonna fall back, and then he wasn't where he's supposed to be. We gotta stay on the wall. We gotta stay on the battlefield because it's a war, right? We can't get comfortable, right? You don't wear Crocs to war, right? Put that in now. You wear combat boots, right? You wear combat boots, so we can't ease up, right? And she was okay, and the woman conceived and sent and told David, I am with child. Uh-oh, I am with child. Oh, snap. David sent Joab saying, send me Uriah the Hittite. And Joab sent Uriah to David. And when Uriah was come unto him, David demanded of him how Joab did and how the people did and how the war prospered. Right? So, man, they out there winning the war. You know what I mean? Um, Still. Right? And David said to Uriah, go down to thy house and wash thy feet. And Uriah departed from the king's house, and there followed him a mess of meat from the king. And Uriah slept at the door of the king's house with all the servants of the Most High, and went not to his house. So he's like, man. So David's plan was he wanted Uriah to go home, sleep with his wife, so when the baby come, Uriah can think the baby is his, and they can just keep it a secret. All right. And when he had told David, saying, Uriah went not down to his house, David said to Uriah, camest thou not from thy journey? Why did I not go down to thy house? And Uriah said, the ark and Israel and Judah abideth in tents, and my lord Joab and the servants of my lord are encamped in the open fields. Shall I then go to my house and eat and drink and lie with my wife, as thou liest? As thou livest and as my soul liveth, I will not do such a thing. Like, we in the middle of a battle. Ain't time to lay up. That's what he basically saying. I'm loyal to this fight. I'm loyal to the kingdom. I'm loyal to you. Oh, this had to mess David up. He like, oh man, my plan ain't working, bro. My plan is not working. And David said to Uriah, tarry here a day also, and tomorrow I will let thee depart. So Uriah abode in Jerusalem a day and the morrow. And when David had called him, he did eat and drink before him, and he made him drunk. And at evening he went to lie down in his bed with the servant the Lord, but not in his own house. So he said, look, we're gonna get him drunk, and then that way he not gonna be in his right mind. He ain't gonna be sober. He ain't gonna be vigilant, right? And now the plan could work because he gonna go home with his wife. Nah, it didn't work. It came to pass in the morning, David wrote a letter to Joab and sent it by the hand of Uriah. And he wrote in the letter saying, set ye Uriah in front of the hottest battle and retire ye from him, that he might be smitten and die. So now it's like, all right, we got to get rid of him, right? It's a problem. I got a guilty conscience. We got to get rid of them. And that's pretty much they wanted to get rid of us. It was like, okay, we we got to get rid of these people, right? And a lot of things are happening in our community to try to destroy us, right? The malt liquor and the menthol cigarettes and you name it, the diet that we eat, and it's trying to destroy us. And but we won't be destroyed and consumed because that's not what his plan is, right? Um, so it said put him on the front line. So when he go on the front of the line, then he gonna die because it's hot up there, right? The blocks is hot in the front of the war, front of the battle. And it came to pass when Joab observed the city, and he assigned Uriah into the place where he knew the valiant men were, and the men of the city went out and fought with Joab, and there fell some of the people in the service of David, and Uriah the Hittite died also. Then Joab sent and told David all the things concerning the war, and charged the messenger, saying, when thou hast made an end of telling the matters of the war unto the king, and if so be that the king's wrath arise, therefore approach ye so nigh unto the city when he did fight. Who smote Amalek, the son of the Jerubites, sorry for turning it up. Did not a woman cast a piece of milestone from him from the wall and died in Thebez? Okay, so basically, it's going on about the story. So we know that Uriah's wife is pregnant with David's seed. Uriah dead now, verse 26. And when the wife of Uriah heard that Uriah, her husband, was dead, she mourned for her husband. And when the morning passed, David sent and fetched her to his house, and she became his wife. Wow. And bare him a son. Dang, that's heavy. Man, this is crazy. But the thing that David had done displeased the Most High Yah. Even though in the beginning he had humble beginnings, he was called, and he would say, yo, this thing displeased the Most High Yah. This thing displeased the Most High Yah, right? But Abba Yah wasn't done with him. Abba Yah wasn't done with him at all because he's a man after Yah's own heart. Okay, let's go to 12 real quick and then go to Psalm 51, and then we're going to get out of here. Nathan rebukes David. This is one of the reasons why he was after, he's a man after Abba's own heart, because he didn't divert, he didn't make up stuff, he didn't, he didn't, I'm going to justify my actions and nothing. But check it out. The Most High sent Nathan unto David, and he came to him and said to him, there were two men in one city, one rich and one poor. The rich man had exceedingly many flocks and herds, but the poor man had nothing, save one eve or one ewe lamb, which he had brought and nourished up. And it grew up together with him and with his children, and did eat of his own meat, and drank of his own cup, and lay in his bosom, and was unto him as a daughter. And there came a traveler unto the rich man, and spared to take his own flock and his herd, and dressed for a wayfaring man that was coming to him, but took the poor man's lamb and dressed it for a man that was for the man that was come to him. And David's anger was greatly kindled against the man, and said, Nathan, as the Most High liveth, the man that has done this thing shall surely die. Now David don't know that Nathan talking about him, but it's crazy how when it comes to everyone else, off with their head. When it comes to you, be patient. I need a little grace sprinkled on me. He ain't through with me, right? So that goes to show us that we need to be long suffering and patient and loving towards others too, because he didn't do away with us. Or maybe we won't. Maybe we don't think we as bad as that person over there, that man over there, that girl over there. So David heard the story, and he shall restore the lamb fourfold. David probably going off because he did this thing, and because he had no pity. And Nathan said to David, David, guess what, bro? you are that man. Thus said the Most High Yah of Israel, I know that the king over Israel, and I delivered thee out of the hand of Saul. Right? So the Most High is like, yo, you are after my own heart. I chose you. You are my king, right? And you was on the battlefield and you was doing what you need to do. You was standing on business for me, right? You heard the song, Saul killed 1,000, David killed tens of thousands, and you believe the hype, and you said, well, you know what? I'm gonna fall back because I am the king, and I did kill 10,000, so I don't have to pursue in this war anymore. I just let my armies fight now. They on cruise control now. I ain't gotta fight no more, right? We got people in place to fight. I ain't gotta fight. I ain't gotta have no warfare, right? But then he out of place because now he bored because he don't know what to do with his time. You even notice that too when you are busy, not just a busy body, but I'm saying you working, you got stuff going on. You ain't got time for mischief and time for foolishness. You might have friends and family like, come on, man, hang out, let's ABCXYZ. Man, look, I ain't got time. Oh man, you ain't got time for us? No, I'm just saying I'm busy. I don't have time for extra idle nothingness. No disrespect to what you're doing, but I'm on mission. I'm handling business. I'm about my father's business, or I'm going to work so I can pay these bills, and I don't have time for that. But the more time you have in your hand, the more I idle mind is the devil's workshop, place workshop. And I gave thee master's house and the master's wife into the bosom, and gave thee the house of Israel and Judah. So he said, I gave you all this stuff. And if they had been too little, I would moreover have given unto thee such and such things. Basically, like the Most High, like I gave you all, I gave you everything you wanted, everything you needed, everything almost your heart's desire, right? Wherefore thou hast despised the commandment of the Most High to do evil in his sight. Thou hast killed Uriah the Hittite with the sword, and hast taken his wife to be thy wife, and hast slain him with the sword of the children of Ammon. Now therefore the sword shall never depart from thine house, because thou hast despised me, and hast taken the wife of Uriah the Hittite to be thy wife, saith the Most High. Behold, I will raise up evil against thee out of thy own house, and I will take uh, thy wives before thine eyes, and give them to thy neighbor, and he shall lie with thy wives in the sight of the sun. For thou didst this secretly, but I will do this thing before Israel and before the sun. So you did this secretly. You devised this plan in your heart. You had an ulterior motive. You had something going on. He said, but I'm going to show. I'm going to do this in front of everybody. So I always say this too. Abba Yahuwah always make a way of escape, right? You bring your mess to him. You know what you're dealing with. You know what you're struggling with, right? We all have appetites, right? Appetite for destruction, as NWA used to say back in the day. For those who know that Jiggers for Life album, 1994. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But we have appetite, right? Lust of the flesh, lust of the eye, pride of our life. It don't take but a quick second for us to get off track, right? At the Most High want us to stay focused, stay in the battle. Don't put the Crocs on. Leave the combat boots on, because we are at war. We are at war not just for our own soul. Remember, the enemy come to sift us as wheat, but we at war for the souls of others, right? Those who don't know no better. And so we got to stay focused. Yeah, we can enjoy the spoils of war, but we got to stand on business, right? The Most High, like, man, I gave you everything, and but you wanted that one thing you couldn't have that wasn't yours. Same thing. You can eat any tree in this garden, but just don't eat the tree of knowledge of good and evil. For that day you eat that, you shall surely die, right? Like, you can have any tree, freely eat, freely given, except that one tree. Now you're a creature of choice, and you got to have restraint. But we that lust, that appetite, that's what I was getting at, the appetite. The Most High knows. So we got to say, I've done this before. Whatever, an appetite and lust don't always mean sexual. but it can include sexual. But it's the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life. You can have those inside the church, inside the fellowship of believers. You're not just free from all of that. That's why you work out your soul salvation with fear and trembling. That's why you walk circumspectly. That's why you pick up your cross and kill the flesh daily. That's why the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. So you might say, I ain't never did this, I ain't never did that. Well, the flesh is weak. You ain't been in that position. You don't never know what you'll do, right? So if you take the Most High Yah that He kept you from it, and but this is what I do. I say, Abba, I like this or that, or I enjoy this or that. I know it is according to your word not pleasing to you. Give me you have made a way of escape and change my appetite. Let me see this thing how you see it. I want my thoughts to be your thoughts. I want my ways to be your ways, right? And he will, I promise you, I did this at least 2 or 3 times in my life within the last 25 years. He will change your appetite. And you won't have an appetite for that. He will change it. Now, you might say, I ain't gonna ever do this or say this or go here and do that ever again. Praise the Most High, and you do it again. You stay with conviction. Don't waddle in the condemnation. That's one thing I do want to tell you. I told you the difference between condemnation and conviction, right? Don't waddle, don't waddle in the condemnation because it's going to mess with your God esteem, confidence in the finished work of Yah. That's what I call it, the confidence. It's going to mess with it, right? And you're going to go like Adam and Eve and go hide in the bushes, and you're not going to boldly come before the throne of grace. You know what I mean? Nothing happened without his hand or permission. It don't throw him off guard, right? Like if you say, man, I ain't gonna never do that again. You know what I mean? Like how Kiefer came. I mean, I ain't gonna let nothing happen to you, right? I'm here with you. I'm in the inner circle, right? I'm one of the big three. Me, John, and James, the big three. And it's like, man, before the cock crow 3 times, you're gonna deny me. I bet you I don't. Mashiach, I ain't gonna. And he really probably believed that. He probably thought that he was going, man, I ain't gonna never do it. You know, the Most High showed him that not to expose him and not to knock him down, but I want you to remember this day when that cock crow. But it ain't over. And if he got hope for David, he got hope for Kepha, Peter, he got hope for you. Peter's ministry was just started. His ministry ain't start yet. His ministry ain't even start yet. Right? He was one of the ones in the upper room and all of that. Right? He actually walked with Mashiach. He was hanged out with Paul a little bit. You know what I mean? And so Kiefer, you know what I mean? But it was a process for him to get there. He didn't wallow in condemnation. I'm telling you today, please don't wallow in condemnation. Cast your cares upon him. Be rinsed, be clean, and start again. When you was trying to ride a bike, you fell off that bike. You didn't fall off that bike once and never got back on that bike. You got on that bike again. And you know it was doable. Why? Because the other kids in the neighborhood was riding bikes. They riding on the back of pegs and riding on handlebars. That was always crazy to me. But I'm like, it's doable because I see other people doing it. Just because I fell off the bike this one time does not mean it's over with, right? And reliving how I scraped my knee and reliving how the bike tilted to the left and knocked me down. No, 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 no. We're not going to do that. We say it's doable and somebody is doing it. It's doable. I can ride this bike. It's being done. I can live this life. I can walk this walk. Right? He said he'd never leave me or forsake me. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I can do this thing. I'm not going to waddle in condemnation, but I'm going to embrace and train my ear for the conviction so we ain't got to operate out of condemnation. So when the trap or the snare comes up, I hear the conviction. I hear the still small voice. I wouldn't do that. But this look like a come up. Like, no, I won't put my money on that. I won't take my time, talent, and treasure over there. But man, it look like a sting. No, don't do that. And you're still a creature of choice. You have to say, I'm gonna trust. I'm gonna trust the Most High Yah. That's not good for me. But that's when, and now I can embrace the conviction of the Ruach, and I can avoid those different things. Okay, so um, he was telling him, Nathan departed from the house of the Most High, struck the child that Uriah's wife bare, and David and it was very sick. But you know what it says, and I'm not gonna read this bottom part because I got to go to Psalm 51 before we get out of here. He prayed, he fasted for the kid, like, and then it was the Most High's like, no, that child's gonna die. Return to me. And he didn't wallow in the condemnation. He cleaned himself up, and he moved on. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna share this one right here. This that prayer for the contrite sinner's prayer. Okay, so this is Psalm 51. After all of that happened, and this is the heart. Listen to this heart of David, right? This is why he's a man after Abba's own heart, because of this. Because he was quick to do this. This is why he was a man after Abba's own heart, because of this Psalm 51 to the chief musician, a psalm of David, when Nathan the prophet came unto him after he had gone into Bathsheba. Have mercy upon me, O Abba, according to thy loving kindness, according to the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Boy, he know how to pull on the heartstrings of the Most High Yah. He ain't justifying. He ain't making excuses. He ain't, man. The wife, that girl, that woman that you gave me said that no, 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 no. He petitioning the Most High Yah. He ain't staying away. Where you gonna go to? Wash me thoroughly from my iniquities and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. We have to acknowledge the transgressions, right? We have to acknowledge it. And it's not to make us feel bad, but this is to get us together. Against thee and thee only have I sinned and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mayest be justified when thou speakest and clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desire truth on the inward parts, and in the hidden parts thou have making me to know wisdom. David operated out of wisdom because he operated out of truth. And he said, they that worship him must what? Worship him in spirit and in truth. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me hear the joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Right? Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out my iniquities. Create in me what? A clean heart, O Abba, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Take not thy Ruach from me. Right? That's crazy. Why uh, you don't want to have an Ichabod situation where the Spirit of the Most High would depart, and you just living your daily life. You don't even notice that His presence is gone. That's a terrible place to be. You got to know, man. That's something feel different. It ain't the same. The Ruach is gone. You know what I'm saying? The Ruach is gone. You see what I'm saying? Hide thy face from me and blood on my soul. Say, create me a clean heart, renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not from thy presence, and take not thy Ruach from me. You know the value of that relationship with the Most High. Okay? Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Who the Son sets free is free indeed. You can't be free and bound in condemnation. You got to cast that condemnation. You got to forgive yourself. A lot of things that you done and you ask the Most High for forgiveness, you got to give it to Him and not relive it by hearing it again in your mind, playing it over and over again in your mind. And the enemy gonna come. He's the adversary. He gonna come to remind you of it. But do you remind him I am forgiven of this. It's been washed in the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. I am free, right? Then I will teach transgressors thy ways. So once to restore the joy of the salvation, because it's a joy in the salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit, then I will teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Once I get myself together and I repent and I get cleaned up, now I can tell others in confidence, right? I don't have to stay away. And another thing, if I stay away, then people that need to hear the finished work of the Most High through me won't get it because I'll be shamed, I'll be condemned, and I won't operate. You get what I'm saying? I will be condemned, so I won't be able to flow with the people that the Most High sent to me. Okay. Then when I teach transgression thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltless, O Abba, thou Abba of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud thy righteousness. O Most High, open my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desired not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offerings. Um, I think people take this and say, see, he done away with all sacrifices. This basically is saying, don't get to the meeting, get to the situation at hand, and deal with the situation. Don't bring me no offering. And God loves a cheerful giver, and you bring an offering. Man, look, I want to get this right with the Most High, so I can give of whatever I'm gonna give, whether the sacrifices, the burnt offerings, the different things that we're doing. He didn't. That doesn't mean it was eliminated, but it said people honor me with their lips, but their heart far from me, because we can fool each other and we can fool ourselves, but we can't fool the Most High. Because it said, remember, it said, man looks on the outward appearance, it's like you got it together, but Abba Yah look on the heart. So if you operate out of the spirit of truth and transparency and freedom, people to see that, and you have nothing to hide. You ain't perfect, but you ain't got nothing to hide. Sacrifices of Yah are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart, or Yah Yah will not despise. So him coming to read saying this Psalm 51 was a broken and contrite spirit. That's why he's a man after Abba's own heart. Do good in thy pleasures unto Zion, build the walls of Jerusalem. Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offerings and whole burnt offerings. Then shalt thou offer bullocks upon thy altar. Right? So this basically now you can do this once you get now when you're in right standards with him and you clean with him. So I hope that this blessed y'all. Cam too said teach blessings to you. Blessings to you. We don't waddle in condemnation. We embrace the conviction of the Ruach. Who the Son set free is free indeed. We are free, right? We are not just free to just be in lawlessness, right? But we are free. We are free in the Most High Yah. And then he come to spot our liberty and bind us and wrap us back up, right? It's like, nah, we overcame all of that. We ain't in that no more. We ain't on that no more. Be free. This is why David is at the man after Abba's own heart. Because yeah, he climbed, and I'm glad that Abba shows these different things in the story, from Noah, getting drunk, passing out naked, and Abraham lying, saying that's his wife because of fear, right? The love wasn't perfected, so the perfect love cast out fear. But he was like, man, I got to say this is my sister, right? And on and on. Peter and he showed us um, how we are, right? Um, and our frailties, and to say, yo, you can put yourself in this book. And that's not to justify it, right? And not to justify it, but it's to say, look, we are imperfect men, and everybody in this book, born in sin, shaped in iniquity, imperfect men. But guess what? We serve a perfect Abba Yahuwah in the finished work, and that's why when they said, when I see the blood, I'm gonna pass over you. The angel of death is going to pass over you. That second death has no power, right? He got the keys to the second, the death, right? It has no power. Death wears thy sting. When I see that blood, I'm going to pass over you. So we're not trying to justify it. We're not trying to pass the buck. Abba coming to you, hey, this, that, and the other, right? He sent a prophet or he's come himself. And then you say, but you start justifying it. No, 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 no. Don't justify it. Eat crow, straighten up and fry right, so you can operate out of liberty because other people is dependent on it. So you think it's just about you sometimes, right? You need to be set free because others around you that are bound need to be set free. And they come to spy out your liberty. They come to see your liberty in Yahushua HaMashiach. And then they want some of that, right? Right? They see you riding your bike down the street. Come on. They falling off the bike. And they see you riding down the street with the bike. It's doable. Man, I can balance on two wheels and ride up and down the street and enjoy my bike. It's doable. Now, everybody laying in the street, ain't nobody, you don't see nobody riding a bike. Then it's like, man, this can't nobody do this thing. We all just walking around with bikes. No, it's doable when you see other people do it. Other people are doing it and will do it. Right? So it's bigger than you. It's you have to be free because others around you that you have yet to meet and waiting need to be free when they see you in your liberty, right? And it's not about might, about power, but it's about spirit. It's about him. It's about the finished work of what he did. You feel what I'm saying? So shalom, blessings to everybody who came in. I hope I ain't get long-winded. I try to do so. That was 2 Samuel 11, 2 Samuel 12, 1 Peter 5, and then Psalm 51 is what I read on today. And hopefully everybody blessed. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get another day, man, because my joints is booked. But I was trying to get another day so we can get on here and chop it up, man. Some people don't believe that this is ministry. Some people believe that, you can't visit them. Some people from all over the world, people from Africa and all over, you can't visit them. You can't have a cup of tea with them, but you still develop relationships online. So I don't know who told those folk that this wasn't ministry. Anyway, I said I was gonna behave, and I behaved this whole show. I can't promise you nothing on the next show. I'm just playing. Elephant Man Podcast Network, grown man conversation dealing with elephants in the room. I am out. Perfect.